Good afternoon. On this Business Spotlight interview series today, I'm joined by Matt Pyke, who's founder and managing director of Fly High Media. Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So first of all, tell us a little bit about your journey to starting Fly High Media, and indeed for how long you've been doing Fly High Media.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for having me, Mark. Really appreciate you taking the time
Pleasure.
out for this. So yeah, as I just said, I'm founder and managing director at Fly High Media. We're a digital marketing agency. So I started the business out in 2016. So I started the business whilst I was at university and started in my university halls. And the first initial goal was to really graduate into it. So I always had a passion for business, marketing, entrepreneurship, that kind of thing. So my first goal, you could say, was to graduate into it, so I didn't have to look for graduate roles, that kind of thing. And then I was lucky enough to graduate into it, and then gradually grew it. So we work with quite a lot of different clients, so like public sector, private sector, like work with a lot of e-commerce businesses of all shapes and sizes, local businesses, national businesses. We worked internationally as well. So yeah, everything's fun. Work with a lot of great people, got a great team, and have a lot of fun doing it. So more specifically in digital marketing, if people aren't aware, we basically help businesses rank better in Google. We also build websites to help people get more leads. And then we also do paid advertising in Google and social media too.
And kind of after the halls of residence, etc., when was the business fully incorporated then?
Yeah, so I went to university in September or October 2015, and then it's just after Christmas that I started the business. So I was doing bits and bobs before it, so I was building websites and stuff, but then when I wanted to turn it into a proper business, that was around January time. So the business properly started in January, but I think it was incorporated in around March time. So yeah, it's just been over 7 years now. Probably say I've got more experience than 7 years. Probably closer to 10. It's just not like listed on any public documents. So yeah, I've been in and around it like for quite a long time now.
Who would you say some of the people or the person who comes to mind when you think of success?
Yeah, there's multiple people really. I think my dad's like had a huge influence on myself, both personally and from a business point of view. Like he works super hard. Like he used to go out very early in the morning and come back really late. And he's a great father to me, so he set a good example for life. But like when it comes to more well-known people, I used to watch a ton of business programs when I was little. So there's things like Dragon's Den, where like some of my favorite entrepreneurs are on there, like Peter Jones and Duncan Bannatyne. It was interesting to see like their stories, where they came from nothing to build up to what they are now. So yeah, they were the first initial ones that I looked up to. And yeah, that's where I found the initial interest really, and learned a few skills and the way that people carry themselves. I think watching that from a young age, helped me pick up some things.
It's always been in your blood, really, business, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's something my dad's been interested in as well. I've got other family members that are self-employed as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be part of it. My dad actually, he retired from his proper job back in September. So it's about 7 or so months now. He works at Fly High now. So
Does he?
Yeah, so we're working even closer together now. Kind of deals with like the finance side of things. Can be a bit annoying sometimes when checks through things and says, do we need to be spending money on that? Can we cut back on that kind of thing? But yeah, I suppose it's what you need.
Nice story.
So, yeah.
And we've obviously all come through the pandemic now. Were there any sort of specific business changes you had to make during that time?
Yeah, so I mean, we thankfully weren't too impacted. So there's a lot of businesses that so some marketing agencies, for example, they specialized in like beauty clinics or restaurants, that kind of thing. So when they all shut, they pretty much lost all their clients. I think we had things like 2 hospitality clients and 1 local beauty clinic, so we weren't impacted like too much, thankfully. But what we did do is to sort of future-proof ourselves a little bit was to downgrade office sizes a little bit. So we had a bit of a bigger office, and then we moved to the smallest office in the building. It basically went down from like an 8-person size room to about a 2-person size room. So it was just what we had to do to future-proof it. We basically did it before we had to, but we could have kept it, but we were just sort of being sensible with money because there's a lot of uncertainty at the time, start of 2020. So yeah, we can't say we were too badly impacted, but it led to a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities. We met a lot of good businesses over the pandemic, either businesses that were coming online for the first time, or offline businesses looking to improve. Some businesses got grants as well, and then they had money to spend on marketing. So yeah, we benefited from it quite a bit.
And of course, e-commerce took off quite significantly, didn't it, during that period?
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, e-commerce really accelerated businesses, but then on the back of that, companies like ours, that accelerated our growth as well, and other similar marketing agencies.
So what would you say in the 7 years then has been some of your biggest learnings as a business owner?
It's probably resilience. Really, there's a lot of things that go into being a business owner and running a business, that kind of thing. There's the common things that people say is like hard work, dedication, persistency, that kind of thing. I think a bit of luck comes into it as well, but I think the most important thing that I've learned is like resilience and a positive attitude. Just because you've had a bad day or bad week, you've had a bad month, this year's been bad, doesn't mean that the time after that's going to be bad. So I've been pretty much probably like an eternal optimist. So I've learned to do that because you don't know what's coming around the corner. Just as quick as things go bad, they can go well as well. So I've literally had days where deals have fell through, we've lost a client, and then out of nowhere we've got clients coming in for the first time that a week ago we've never heard of them. So yeah, things do come in if you're consistent and you're resilient. If you give up, then there's no chance of making it the next time.
So very much resilience and consistency within there is very, very strong message. And keep going, absolutely. And what are your plans for the next 5 years? Your aspirations?
Yeah, I mean, like same as the past 5, really. Just keep learning, keep growing, keep enjoying it. More importantly, keep growing the team. What I really enjoy is like help develop people. So like help people start in the careers. Like what I like doing is like taking chances on people and helping them grow like personally and professionally. So yeah, I want to grow the team size, the client base. There's a lot more industries that I want to work in, and then the industries that we are working in, hopefully find more clients similar, and then obviously grow the revenue of the company too. We've got financial goals that we want to hit in the next 5 years. We break it down annually, break it down monthly, and yeah, we've got a clear plan. Usually break it down like annually, monthly, yearly, 3 years, 5 years, and then got like a 10-year vision of what we want to do.
Very good. Very good. And following up from very much your theme about developing people, how do you find the employment situation in the Northwest at the moment, Matt?
Yeah, there's huge demand for like jobs with the growth of like digital marketing and stuff like that. There's a lot of agencies and companies looking for people to do the jobs. The shift with COVID made for more jobs in digital. So yeah, there's a lot of talent around here. There's a lot more interest in like postgrad jobs with it. There's more universities doing courses, so that helps. Like apprenticeships are getting better. So there's definitely like a big pool of talent. The explosion of TikTok and stuff. There's creators that are young that want to. The job title like content creator wasn't around like 5 or 10 years ago. So there's a lot of people that want to do it, and then there's a lot of space for those roles too. So especially in the north as well. I think that the north's like got a lot of talent. It's not all just about London. I think the north's got a lot of talent. So yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And it's clear that it's an ethos of yours to take a chance on people and develop people. What learnings would you say you've had employing and leading people?
Yeah, I think you've got to develop quite a bit of empathy. So you've got to, understand people and understand people's situation and be empathetic. I think it's important you take the time to understand people and make sure you know what makes them tick. So you can motivate them, help them understand like when they need help without them having to ask for it, and just being a nice person. Like the days that you don't want to show up and feel like working, they're the days that you want to, and the days where you're struggling yourself, you can't let it like keel over into anyone else, because it ruins the company culture. So yeah, being empathetic's huge. Understanding, caring, yeah, that's big.
And do all your team work in the same office?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so we've got 8 in the office, and then we've got 2 that work remote. I'm quite big on office working. I prefer that environment. It's good to be around people, especially when people are learning from each other. It's important to be able to ask questions and not feel awkward about it, doing it over message. So having that environment where people can go to a breakout room, like a meeting room that we've got, it helps a lot. Time that you don't necessarily get online, I think it's not as good, and it helps with people's routines, all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
especially in a creative environment like yours.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this final question, it's probably a little bit easier for you than me, but what sort of advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Yeah, it's a good one. So it's difficult. Like even now, it's sometimes difficult to sort of not do it. But like comparing yourself to others, that's always something that is difficult, especially with social media. You're always in the face of people posting the best life online. Not many people post the bad days that they have. That you just see like a highlight reel of everyone's life. So not comparing yourself to others. If I knew that sooner, then it would be a bit easier now. So yeah, just not looking at other people. They maybe you don't have the same experiences as they have. They've gone through different circumstances. They might have got their share of luck. You don't know when it's going to come. So just focusing on what you're doing, keep your controllables controllable, and then do that. So yeah, I definitely recommend not comparing yourself to others.
Had your dream actually started off Fly High at 18? Because obviously you started a business in university. Had it started before then, or?
Yeah, so I started it when I was pretty much a few months after I turned 19. So yeah, so it wasn't too much after my 18th birthday, but yeah, I was doing bits and bobs, but that was more so just for myself. I think you turn into a business more so like when you're working with more people. So when you managing more people externally, or like managing a team, that's when it more so turns into a bit of a business. So at the time it was just really me. So that's when I'd say that it turned into a business, like just started 2016.
Matt, really appreciate your time. Some absolutely wonderful lessons for people out there. Obviously you should be very proud of what you've done and what you've built from a very early age. And I know you've expanded out to, I know you're around the sort of Chester Wirral area as well as Manchester, aren't you? So
so the business was so I founded the business while I was at Manchester. So I went to MMU, and then once I graduated, I moved back home for a short while, and then moved the offices to Cheshire. We've still got a small presence in Manchester, like where we do meetings and stuff, but mainly Chester and we're all based.
Brilliant. Well done, Matt. Thank you very much for your time today.
No problem. Yeah, thanks very much.
Speak to you again. Thank you.
Bye.